Sharp. Yes. That's fine. Now, through which other thing we do? I think that's the last thing we did, Abby. I never even upload the video, go YouTube. Okay, so if you know, I told you guys to install what do they call it now? That Bruno, what I say me wanna download now. Remember, I say Bruno or Postman. Me, I will be using Bruno. I'm opening it now, so that when I go feel see am, me na open it now, so that I go teach you now how to use them and why we need to use it. That's the next point we are in now. Before we now continue with NestJS, because we know they use browser now. We go to use API client. Okay, so see my Bruno is loading on the screen. Now they follow me, right? So when I open a Bruno, you should see something like this. Your own will not have all these ones on the side though. All these ones are my own project, so I just the test. This is the one we created the first day we installed it. So everybody don't get Bruno, Abby. If you don't have, go and download it. See the name here, Bruno. Bruno. Me not share the live, me not no forget oh. So how many people don't install this Bruno so that we can just click on? Yemi Eric, don't forget your work as for new people. If you are new on the group, just talk or may they help your life. Nobody's talking. When they answer me now, so that I'll be sure that my network is sound and everything is working. Oh, Tola Ijebu, you say you are new here. Very good. Don't worry. Yemi Eric will get to you. He's already pasting what you need to do. So I beg, if okay, Sam saying don't install the Bruno. Cassie, you don't install onto Rudy Maze. So that may not be like saying I just one person they benefit. So let's go to Google. Let's see what these things are used for, so that I'm going to see the right terms. So for example, if you say what is the most popular one, are Postman. So if you say what is Postman or Bruno, I mean I see the right term where they go use. Is this big enough, or I should increase it? Digital world technology, I new to, don't worry. They're going to tell you what to do. Okay, Manuel, you've installed too. Okay, so they say Postman or Bruno. They get other types, but Postman, the outstanding product of waiting this thing be now, is an extremely popular API client. Take note, API client, designed to make it easier to test your APIs. Now, those things what would they do? What would we say like control and the HTTP entry point, HTTP clients to take they enter the app to they do one or two things. And you know, remember I said we'd always use address for here be like this. So instead of doing that, for example, now it's only get that we can like the status code as a status code HTTP what is it they call it, a method. Now only get with the fit test for browser. Now remember I thought get that we can like the status code as a status code HTTP what is it they call it, a method. Now only get with the fit test for browser. Now remember, I talked yesterday, but I said there is post, there is patch, there is put, there is delete. Now only get with the fit test for browser. Now remember, I talked yesterday, but I said there is post, there is patch, there is put, there is delete. Now only get with the fit test for browser. Now remember, I talked yesterday, but I said there is post, there is patch, there is put, there is delete. Connecting. So how do we now test? That's where API client comes in. It helps you test all those your endpoints. It helps you test all those your endpoints. And so yes, so that's what it does. There's Postman, there's Bruno. In fact, there are many other ones. You get some way say you can even do directly from your what is that they call them, from your Visual Studio Code. Like me, I have my own. I have this Rapid API client. Sometimes I might not just live inside Visual Studio Code. Cassie, you say you can't hear me? Wait, oh, is it general? I've been only Cassie know they hear me. Can every other person hear me? Okay, it's back. I think it's network. It was network. Okay. Okay. So you see, this one is Rapid API client. So we can use it now. You say general. Every other person done the year now. That was network. My network been break for that middle, but I'm sure it should be working now. I say, me na the power tap, me na share this live, me reach people, me na don't forget. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so all those kind of software to test your endpoint or your encode, your controller links, we call them API clients. Because of course, you know you are creating APIs. You remember, you are creating APIs. So, designed to make it easier to test your APIs, while Bruno is the AI-powered platform that possesses advanced capabilities of testing APIs, blah, blah, blah. Now, the same thing, all of them, they do. But me, I just like Bruno because it's easier to install and you don't need to create account, you don't need all those. Postman is not free, so it's just some session that they leave for you. So, let's get started. For example, where we work reached yesterday, when we run our project, you can run your project too. Let's go to the terminal and let's do, remember Nest, I say Nest. npm run start dev. Remember, right? When we run our project, reach where we stop. Okay, so Nest start watch and blah, blah, blah. Hope so now understand everything what I just explained just now about API client, right? If you don't understand me now the indicator, I will still go over to it again. Place, power tap and share. Now tech what they do, I don't need to talk them. You know go nice, now I need to know. Emmanuel, what do you mean by color theme? I don't understand what you mean by that question. Okay, very good. My own is running now. We remember that it runs on localhost 4,000. My own is on 4,000. Maybe your own is on 3,000. I think we have default. Do we have default? We don't have any default running because probably we don't change. We don't change. Where's that default one? Inside controller. Okay, we change it to entry point. Okay, yes. So we don't have any default one again. So we have to like have entry point. So like entry point, of course. Now remember how this thing what we do. Entry point. So like entry point, of course. Now remember how this thing what we do. Why? Hello, hope now they hear me. My network they do one kind. It just even show me now say this thing. Hope you guys can hear me. Okay, so let's move on. So that's where Bruno come in. So this is what you will do. Let me I want to delete this now. How did they delete that again? Okay, good. So So like I was saying, I can't tell you the color team. I can't even remember because this my Visual Studio Code setup done this since like more than 5 years, 6 years. I can't remember. This setup what I get now, I've been using it for like 6 years, and I pass it from one system to the others at the change because you know once you create your account with GitHub with them, once you install, you log in, all the old settings come. The only thing I can remember is my icons are material icon. Okay, so now the first thing to do in Bruno, me I have my own. So your own now, as you're opening for the first time, you need to create what they call collections. Collections be like the group of where your this thing. Man, don't even explain now. But let's come here. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Click here. Say create new collection. If you create new collection, you go ask you for name of the collection. So that like the name of your project. Let's start from there. My own, I'm going to call it. I'll say TikTok class. You see, it will also create a folder, and then I can tell it where it should save the project. So I'll just blah blah blah, where select folder, save it inside my desktop, and then create. You see, I have the collection here, so there's nothing inside yet. I won't make all of Nadu and read this point so that we go step by step, I know loss. So if I don't do and read this point, make somebody comment yes, make I know. Power tap and share, or me na they share. Anybody never do and read this point? Anybody never create their own read this point? Kasi, you've done what of Sam? Sam, I know this is Sam, you don't do your own too. Rudy Mace and Emmanuel. Other people will not answer me and I never see what I own do. Okay, it's done. What of Emmanuel? Okay, let's go on. So now the first thing, you will see that by the time we have this thing, if I click this arrow here, this 3 dots, it will now ask me, do I want to create new request, new folder, new bar? What we want to do is new request. So new request, now we will talk about, we'll tell them the name of the request. For example, let me say new folder, new bar. What we want to do is new request. So new request, now we will talk about, we'll tell them the name of the request. For example, let me say from our new request. So new request, now we will talk about, we'll tell them the name of the request. For example, let me say from our project, let's say we will talk about, we'll tell them the name of the request. For example, let me say from our project, let's say we have controller entry point. That entry point now gets default, gets class, blah, blah, blah. So since we are not doing like a streamline project now, we do the test. Let's just give it a request name. Let's just say entry, for example. And then you see, say for here now, if you select the HTTP method, get, post, put, delete, patch. Can you see? So now get we won't do because we are returning something. Digital world, you say you are new year old. Yemi Eric have been pasting something since now. Emmanuel, what is the lag? Now the video the lag or which one? Okay, so let's go on. So here now we go put the one for, let's say, entry point. The one we want to use for entry point. We'll say localhost HTTP / don't forget to put that localhost 4000. Then we'll come put that / that controller name. That controller name, what we use there, entry point, right? Entry point, bam, we get that one. Let's create it. And so it is there. You see, it is already there. If I open here now, you see that it is already as a get this thing. You know, they say Amabi. You don't need to do anything more. You need to do now to say, if you want test them whether it they work. Now get network issue now, na network or na my network. Ben, I they share this live, oh. It don't clear now. Okay, so I will just press this arrow to test them. You see that thing don't come out. Because this is the entry point and this is the default. The default doesn't have a name. You see? Let's also create for this other one my name. So we would come here again. We'll say new request. I will call it my name. And it's also a get. And then I'll carry out. I'll say that HTTP localhost 4000. Then slash entry point, because you know that's the default controller name, Abi, and then slash my name, because that's the name of this get. You now understand? So then slash my name. Then I'll create them. So that one too don't did there and I get. You see, saying that the second one be this now. If I run that request, what you even supposed to give us F? It's supposed to give us what is this one they return. What is this one they return? What is this? Okay, they return show. That's fine, that's fine. So my name, let's test it if it works. Of course, you see, Shehu. Unique, if saying your network, oh. So may I test these two. We're still on one controller, but just this controller, may I not forget. We can create for all of them. So now so we go to test them for real life. If we really want the test endpoint. Now, so we're going to use API client, this Bruno, to check all of them. See, for example, look at this this app, for example. Look at, you go see, I get one folder. You see this mechanic app, I have one folder called auth. Inside that auth, you go see sign up. Auth means authentication. You see sign up link, email, blah, 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 blah. That one, you see, most of them are post. We also have put. Then, I don't have mechanic, I have post. I have subscriptions, I have another folder inside. So you see the working structure. So I'm just showing you how real projects will probably look like. You now understand, Abi? So if I don't do these two, make una tell me if it work. Don't forget your project needs to be running. If I don't reach this point, may not tell me. We are still 18 in this class. May not share this class, now may reach plenty people. Sam, you say they lag, na network, oh, voila. Oh, sorry. But is it okay now? Hey, now those are far now. So Sam, you don't test this one, I don't work. Now don't test this too. Emmanuel Alpha. Cassie Alpha. Osato no did this class, oh. Oh, Osato, they say na web you they use. Network don't show you shege. You know if you comment. Okay, let's go on. Yes, the class is free to join. It's free to join. For you to see now, it's free now. Join. Yeah, me Eric, resume your work. Oh. Okay, so I think, okay, let's go on. Now, the next thing I want to teach you is what is called, look at this environment here. We'll create a, what do I call it now? Let me just call it a variable. So that, you know, say every time we write this 400, so that we don't need to write them, because if we want to create new one too, we'll constantly write them. We go just get one place where we say we go create a variable that represents this one, because it's the same everywhere. Now only these ones go they change. You understand? So we'll just create variable where go they change this one everywhere. So you see this no environment, click on. You see configure, click on. You say create environment or import environment. We want to create environment. Create environment. Let's environment name. Let's name it per project. So this one at TikTok we they use now. Let's call it TikTok. Create. Now we don't create environment. Watch oh. Now the first thing to do is we have to create a variable, an environment name. Let's call this base URL. Like this. Let's use underscore base URL. What it means is that our base link. Please, I don't see any stuff from Yemi Harry. Yemi Harry, they say they don't see anything from you. He has been pasting. He has been putting things in on he has been posting. I've even been seeing it now. Yemi Eric has been posting some things in the comment section. Yemi Eric, I beg tag digital world technology, I beg. Okay, so base URL, this is where we want to put our this thing by default. So let's create. We don't create that base URL. Wait, I don't do two different things. But I say myself, don't forget. Let's see. Let me see what happens. Oh, sorry, this was what I was supposed to do. In fact, let's delete this. I don't think I want to use this TikTok. Let me delete it. Let's use this base URL. Now we are supposed to click add variable here. You see add variable. You see here now I'm going to write oh sorry, I don't miss them up. Let's talk again. Okay, I'm going to pause for like 50 seconds because network been paused. So that I will meet me for where I did. Okay, so I said I'm going to start over again. So from environment name, create environment name. Then that environment name, I'm going to say add variable. That variable name will now be base URL. Now we'll now give it a value. Okay, let me start again. You are asking me how I created the variable. See, we came here. Now we'll now give it a value. Okay, let me start again. You are asking me how I created the variable. See, we came here. Let me remove, before it will be no environment, you see. It will be no environment like this. You click configure, then you create. As you click configure, I did mean this one is not there. Let's say, let me remove this TikTok. This one will come first. It will not say, you will now click on create environment. And then I called it TikTok. Create. As you don't create them, you see the TikTok for here. Then you now come to add variable. Look at it here. Add variable. So we'll click on add variable. We'll come under name. We'll come use base URL. Because now there we won't put our API link endpoint. The default one, that local host 4,000. Your own might be 3,000, 7,000, whatever case. So inside this value now, I don't write the name. Inside this value, I'll come write that HTTP localhost, then port 4,000. Like this. I can decide to make it secret, like it's hidden so that they can't read it, you get. Or I can leave it open, anyone. So once you do this, you click save. It don't save like that. So let's close it. You see that the active one now is that my TikTok. It's no more no environment. The environment variable now is now TikTok. So guess what? Come, see what it will do. Let's come to entry point. So instead of having this 4,000 something to the end, we are going to call that variable. We are going to use curly brackets. Two on the left, two on the right. Then we'll now call the name. Don't forget that it is base URL. Look at it. It even brought it out. So curly bracket 2, open and close. You put this thing at the middle. You see as I put my mouse on top, it brings out that localhost 4,000. So the same thing for this one too. I'll replace it here. You can even be saving everything that you're doing, Control S, so that when you close it, when you open it, your API will still come back. So let me run this one. You see, say it work, no problem. Status code is 2,000. It run 200, sorry, you see, it work. So the advantage is, let's say I want to create for this Shehu now, for example. Once I come here, I say new request. I put the name, let's just say Shehu, for example. The link, I'll put that variable base URL, you see, and I'll now say slash that entry point something. I remember the entry point now, the name of the controller, entry point, then slash show, which is the method we are calling. You see, say don't they? If I call them now, it gives us that IAB data you are looking for from Tico. Now I remember this thing yesterday now. So I think it's simple enough. So instead of having to type out that name, you already have a variable, and then you just call the variable. Let me know if you understand up to this point or you have question. So if I don't do at this point and it work and you don't get problem, Michael Coast, thank you. I see your gift. Update me and let me know. We don't get plenty gifters today. Oh, now wow. You know, it's funny enough, when I go online and I look at people's life, I see about 1,000 people in attendance. And they know they do anything reasonable. The thing they shock me. And if I see other people too where they teach some very, very responsible things, I go see like 16 for the life. I'll see like 20. Why? In this country, people don't like better thing while lie. Like this kind of class now, we're supposed to reach like 300, 400, 500. But if not live where they play game or they dance or one get just they show her face, or more, now like 1.1K you see. Oh. Okay, so anybody has finished to this point? Sam, you don't finish read this point. Now so Rudy base now you talk we know they talk yansh, don't be lie. We know they mention yansh. The blast go they change the title to yansh now. So once you see how you go enter, you know say that code in there. Okay, man, you don't finish. Sam, you never finish. Where's Sam day? Cassie, you self never finish. No be like Shade, they come TikTok to cash code. No be like, not true. Okay, it's done. Okay, now I want to show you another thing. Mind you, this thing we are doing is not related to Nest. It's used for API clients. So it can be used if you are not using Nest. Maybe you are using another thing entirely to build your backend. Hey, you don't finish up. Okay, so the next thing I want to teach you now is, so imagine we now want to also create for this one that we call classes. You know, I could just say create new request and blah, blah, blah. But that is another long journey. I can just click these three buttons here and clone this request. And I could just change the name to, let's say, classes. For example, clone. You don't clone them. But at the same address, it go carry come. So I'll just change the address to what I need. You see, so this one is easier. I can say classes and we have the result. This is not Postman blank. This is Bruno. It's lighter, it's easier, it's free, fully free. In fact, as I save this thing now, so I think go the documents where I save them, carry the JSON file, send to another person. All the API documentation and everything, the person will feel even important and enter Postman or anyone, and it go work. And the person will just get on like this. Yeah, so it makes sense. So we don't do that clone to don't work, Abi. So see all of them for here, all of them are get. Now get, we see they do things. So if you see this yellow dot here, it means you've not saved, so you can save it. So that, look at, if I close this thing now, this Bruno, I can come back again and open it, and it go come out like, say, now there I stopped, just where I stopped. You see, if I click now, you see everything done there, saved. Now you see, say this base URL they show red, it means say it is not connected. And that's because here it's still showing no environment. So just click on, then select your own TikTok. Bam. You see, say it done green. Everywhere done good. Yes, now NestJS, Jehovah Son. Now NestJS, yes. Absolute beginner backend class. So if you're new for this class, I bet talk or mail for help you. Make una the power tab, they share this live now, show. Okay, up to this point, we don't get any question or make a move ahead, man, they continue. Make I continue. May I talk or make I continue?
I'm smelling yourself in my body. Why?
Quick recap, ke. This is the, in fact, look at, see, this is day 6. You can't find the Niger Code Party on YouTube. Let me help you. This is, go to our YouTube channel. Let's go to youtube.com. What's happening now? Okay, I'll continue in a bit. So once you reach YouTube, just search Niger Code Party. You see him? Click on. Now the channel will be this Niger Code Party. So you can go to like playlist. I try to arrange everything in playlist. So you see the one what they do now this TikTok class backend development. It's not for total beginners though. Don't forget. Not be for total beginners. The one where you want to learn when this TikTok class web development. If you click on it go bring out all the videos what we don't do. We shoot all these videos since 2022/2023 I guess. So from beginning, he assumes say you know even sabi anything coding at all. Now wow, Yemi Eric, now your network. Oh. So we have about 45 videos, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You go learn them for here, no worry. So just follow up. Let's go back to what we're doing. So let's go on. So that's everything I need you to know with Bruno for now. Till we start learning documentation in the future, and blah blah blah. So let's come back here now. So now remember we don't have problem with creating our own modules again and blah blah blah. So I'm trying to look for what we can use to practice once, I don't know, let's just check like a small problem we can solve that doesn't involve database. Like just normal, let me see. Let me see. Hold on, please. I'm just checking stuff out. Okay, let's do something that has to do with parameters. Okay? Like what I mean by parameters, we will collect data from the user and then we can return that data. As we do, I'm gonna go understand and no worry. I'm going to create, let me stop this project. You can stop your own. I'm going to create a module called echo because we just want the echo out what they give us. So remember what we do, NestG to create resource. Don't forget, NestG resource. This thing don't hang again at some point, so you might have skip. I'm typing this code, NestG resource echo. We want to create another module like users because I want us to do example of know how to collect data from user and use it for anything we want. But I call them echo because I want use them, we want return this thing. So let me put this thing out on this place. NestG echo. Now remember, now we don't use this one before, so this will be the name of your module. So NestG, I'm calling my own echo and I will press enter. You now understand, Abi? Power tap and share. I mean, I still share them again. I still reach people. So the normal usual question, REST API, yes, that's what we are doing. We are not doing GraphQL. Do I want it to generate entry point? No. I'll create my thing by myself. Okay, so we have it now. We have echo. So do it to this point and let me know if your own is done. Okay, so as usual, we have our controller, TS, our module, our service spec. You get what I need to quickly show now. Let's come to, is it main? No, not main. I think it's exactly app.module. Okay, good, done. That's good, that's good. Pay attention here, app.module. Look at the other app.module of other ones. Let's say users, for example. Let's say users.module. When I see say there is nothing like import. If we even check this new one, we'll create echoes. There's nothing like import. But look the app.module, the one we follow and come by default. Look, there's something like import. Because this app.module now, let me close this ones up so that we'll see and where. These ones, you see say you know the folder. Now it come as opening point when we create the app. Don't forget it came with as default with NestJS because it is assumed to be the entry point for your application. So normally me, when I create new project like that, I dey wipe off in controller. I don't need it. I just leave it empty. I dey wipe them off. I don't use it at all. I don't use it. So, but take note of this app.module. There's now something called import. And then if you see, he imports the users module and the echo module. If we continue to create new ones, it will automatically import it for you. If you know import them, that means you didn't create it through that CLI code. Maybe because if you manually they create the file by yourself, then you have to do all these things. What this means is that it is integrating these other modules together with it. So you see that it didn't have to call the controller or anything. No, it only called the module. Because inside the module, now remember as I told you yesterday, inside the module, the user's controller and service day. So all it needed to do was to call only the modules so that we know that it is part of this app. If I come out this echo module now and run them, no good. As far as it's concerned, this echo module is not existing. Also now understand this point why I explain them too. Because it's very important for you to know. As code they change as they do stuff. So you can see even how it imported them, from which file. You can see the import, Abi. You can see it. So that if you see any code, I dey even expect it sometimes. I go even ask me, say, what did this code mean? Just ask. Because me, I don't already know, so I might overlook it. My eye fit jump am. So now if you just call my attention. So now understand what I just explained now, Abi. It's very important to be getting this thing point by point. If now understand, right? Yes. So that we fit continue. Please share the live, oh. Okay, that's fine. Sam, I never see Sam respond. What happened? Don't come out. Cassie, your own two don't work, Abi. As in, you understand at this point. Okay, that's fine. So let's continue. So what I want to do with this, let me run down my normal npm run lint, Jade. Arrange my code. Okay, so let me look at what we want to do for practice. How to collect user data. Okay. So the controller for the echo, you know, since we create, I already give us name, so let's call it as echo. Bam. Now, if we go to our Bruno and create, let's duplicate this one. In fact, I want to put it inside a folder separate. So let me do new folder. I'm going to call it echo. Don't mind me. So that everything is organized. Even this one's supposed to be some folder. So let's say inside this thing now, and I create a request. I'm going to call it home. Or let's just say default for now. I'm going to use my normal variable and say base URL / let's just say echo. For now, that's base. We'll change it later. So we have that. That's echo. So if we run them, nothing will come. Network being cut for like 2 seconds. Let me tell you what I just did. So I created folder in for the, what did they call them? For the Bruno, and then I created the default one like echo, and then I try run them. You know, run because I've not started it. So if I run them now, you see, it say cannot get /echo because we never put anything there. There's no method inside. You look at the controller, there's no method. So until we now have something like, let's have a get method, a default one, and then let's create a method of, like, let's say, return, let's just say get data. I just want a string. Let's just put string, blah, blah, blah. Let's just return one dirty thing. Now, it's underlining get because we never import them. So you can either add get here, or you can put your mouse on top. You can say quick fix, and then you can say update import from this. You see, say you don't import them. Let me automatically configure this thing too. So now, if I come back here now, this Bruno default, if I run them now, you see, say you don't return that nonsense come. Okay, so that's fine. So now let's walk. Let's do some things before maybe next class we'll not be entering database and then really start working well. Okay, so what do I want to do now first? I'm going to teach you how to get requests. In fact, let me put a comment here. Now, I know how to do comment for JavaScript and TypeScript and at the same thing. Let me just this comment and say get request. Accept query parameters. Sharp. So that's what I want to do. So how would I do it? I will just say, for example, now it's still going to be get, and then inside that thing, let me just change the name. Let me clean this one off. I'm going to say get echo. You see? Follow me gradually. It's a method, and let me blah, blah, blah. Inside it, let me return, for now, let me just return an object. You know, no object for JavaScript now. Object of echo. Hello world. Just pay attention gradually. Oh. This one gonna see string at the return. Now just because I make an object. If I come here now, say this one, you see, say as it bring them up as JSON. Because now so you actually want to return your things to your users, to your people where they work. This is not NestJS. This is NestJS. N-E-S-T, not N-E-X-T. So this is when you are building your backend, you communicate with your front end, or you send things to your front end using JSON. You understand? So this is the format of JSON. So it's just to use curly bracket. That's all. Okay, now the next thing we'd want to do is I just do this one so that you go see say nah, the same thing. The next thing we'd want to do. Why my YouTube they open? Where's this thing now? So the next thing we'd want to do is pay attention to this thing I want to teach you. There's something called query. Now let me show you in the browser. I think that's why I open my YouTube. My brain just they work independently. You've seen things like hey, I think YouTube has it. Okay, no, it's not here. You've seen addresses like you will now see something like question mark. You will now see maybe name equals to blah blah blah. You see another you see maybe like something like 2080 blah blah blah. You will now see like age equals to blah blah blah. Like plenty URL will go long like this. Now I don't see this kind of thing before now. Abi? Now I don't see this kind of thing before we go long. Then they call them query. Now query, so because we they use them with get, we are passing parameters through this place to the backend. Just pay attention. If it's sounding difficult, no fear. Okay. We are passing parameters. Now to pass that parameters, or to tell I want to put that now. To tell NestJS that we are expecting a query. Just follow. We'll soon see the impact. But let me do it first. I'm going to use this thing in NestJS called query. The I say this class go long small. You see the query now in bracket go get the query name. This one I will use message. Can you see? Follow me gradually. And then that message, because we are using TypeScript, I'm telling you that message, so this message that they are expecting is going to be a string. Now, we get query underline because we know import them. So let me import it. As usual, the same way. You see, say don't join them. Now let me see why this query is underlined because I declare them and no use them. So now I will now say echo. Let me echo that message. So what did I do? This one is default. It's not JavaScript. It's not TypeScript. This one is default to NestJS. You are telling me that we are expecting a query like this. Watch, like this, like a query name. Look at it. This one that is name. It will not be message. You understand? That's the reason for this one. We are expecting a query and the query name is message, and the message must be strings. It can exist without this one. This one I just TypeScript something. We can do it like this. And there will be no, let me see if it works. Okay, because we are using TypeScript, there shouldn't be problem. But because not TypeScript, yes, it go quarter. So here now, let's return the message. Now let me know before I put. You say too tiny. Now the code is too tiny. Okay, let me increase it small. Is it big enough now? Okay, una understand this point before we even check the result and look how we want to bring the result come out. Let me know if you understand up to this point. Now they answer me quick. Now they quiet for too long. Okay, Cassie, you say not really. Okay, at what point you don't understand? Okay, let me show the result first, then we go see. So now, if we come to our Bruno, you know we said dash echo. Watch now, if I put this, it's empty because it is expecting that we put a query. The query now go look like this. Look at question mark. Watch oh. Then the query name now message. Because we defined the message here, that the query we are expecting is message. Now that message, so I can say it is equal to that. We now want to put the query, the data we are giving the query. So I will now say it's equal to, let me say, like it's equal to, I want to build a web app. Can we talk about it? Yes, you can enter my DM for that later. I'm having class right now. Okay, so message is equals to, let's say, I am the message. Let's see what happens. I hope so now they follow me. So I am the message, and let's say, can you see? You see that it returns, just like we say echo, return the message, return the message. Look at it. You see, say bring out the message where we write. Anything we type here will be returned. Okay, but I say I don't cancel something. Okay, yes. And I don't put that equal to message equal to yes. So now you see that it is returned. It's just very simple. It's as simple as that. If we had to use another name that is not message, let me say I use like James, for example. You know go Noam, it should go there. You see that it's empty. It has to always be that James because that's the James that we specify here. And we told you that it's going to be string. Let me see something. What if we don't use string? Okay, we won't even know self. Because it's from this thing, but let's leave it like that anyway. So you see now, so Cassie, do this first and make sure you have the result, then I will not explain further. Let me know if you people see the result. So don't forget echo question mark message. Now so you take put all the query question mark message, and we are so we are passing it through the browser. As it through the browser, we are passing it through the URL, and it's get. That's why it's like that. So do this. Let me know. Let me put a short message so that I'm not confused. This is the message. So after I walk, where Emmanuel? The Emmanuel don't lose. Thank you, Legend Graph, for the gift. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cassie. So let me know. How far who don't do an app, now never still work. Look at the code so that you know loss. Sam, if I never work, now don't confuse. Oh, it worked. Sammy, Alpha, your own work. Where Emmanuel? Me na power tap, me na share, me more people finish this thing. All good, okay, sharp. So you see that it is, okay, so Cassie, let me explain again. Let me remove this thing in bracket first. You know, if we are creating a function, in fact, if we are creating a function, you know, it's like this, Abi. I now said if we want to collect something from the user, we have to use something like create a means where they can send us something. Under Nest, it is called query. When you open the query, you open a bracket and give the query a name. Our own what we use now message. You get. And that's all there is. But because we are using TypeScript, we need to tell it the data type of that message. In this case, we say it has to be string. And we just returned it here. We use curly brackets so that we return as JSON by default. Okay, if I say we don't confuse, maybe because I'm mentioning JSON and I never explained JSON. Let's go online and say, what is JSON? JSON just stands for, let me increase this view so we see it very well. JSON is a lightweight format for storing and transporting. So let's remove that storing for now. We are not doing storing yet. We are transporting, like what we are doing now. Transporting data, often used when data is sent from a server. You know, I told you that if we are doing something, they can say server side or backend. So like from backend to a web page. You understand? Let's open W3 School. So that here now they say, so the full meaning is JavaScript object notation. If you know objects in JavaScript, how do you create objects in JavaScript? You have, I can say var, oh that's old. Let's use, let my object, it can be any name, be equals to, we open curly bracket and that's it. And then object is always like, we can have name can be James, then comma, we have age can be 30 or 40. You see like that, this is an object. This is an object. You see it with the curly bracket. The same way as I say return, as I put curly bracket like this, it don't feel like I'm saying an object and indirectly JSON. Because that's why they now say JSON is JavaScript object notation. So don't let me too confuse you. Now just curly bracket, just because when you are returning data to front end apps, you have to return it in JSON format. Wow. I have a question. Does it mean JSON and PHP are almost the same function? No. You are missing. PHP is a programming language. JSON is a transfer technique inside JavaScript. And it's now general because even PHP too, if you are using PHP for this backend, PHP must return JSON too. You understand? PHP must return JSON so that front-end apps can use them. Cassie, you hope say you don't understand now. So look at, it's a lightweight data interchange. I like this one, data interchange format that is easy for humans to read and write and easy for machines to pass and generate. This parts, like to edit them to whatever we want. No, JSON is not like must be in string, no. JSON can take any data type. For example, let's go to our Bruno. Normally, if you say we return plenty JSON, you'll see echo, this, name, this, bagba, this, that. So it can be string, it can be a number, it can be anything. It can be array. Yes, JSON dot stringify, yes, and dot pass, your JavaScript sharp, yes, my front end guys. So all these things they come now, like Cassie, I know say your JavaScript never strong. So if you just read, when you read them, you see say you can't understand them. So easy for machines to pass. It is often used for transmitting data between a server, can you see, backend, and a web application or a mobile app. So that's it, and front end today, as well as for configuration files and data storage. That one another point on your own. So for example, this is a JSON. This is JSON data. You can see employees, and then they have list of employees objects. So don't worry, let's go on. It's very easy, very easy. Look at example here, you can see. So now like this very simple one and we do. Hope you understand everything I just explained, so don't let them confuse you. Okay, fine, let's try to forge ahead. If I say we'll end this class by 10:30. Okay, so let's go on. What else can we do? We've been working with get since. Let's work with post now. Sharp. So we don't see. Okay, let me quickly do something again so that you see. You know, if we now decide to have like a get method that has a name, let's say get give. Let me just say, what will I call this get now? Mark Webb, this is your question, they interrupt this class. So, you said I should say more why JSON is a protocol and not a program. I just read it for you here. You see that even online, they didn't mention that it's a programming language. They said it's a JavaScript object notation. So it is not a programming language. JavaScript is a program. It's like, for example, now when you say what are classes, is classes and PHP the same thing? No, classes is a process, or it's a, permit me, a method in code in a programming language. PHP is a programming language. Do you understand? So JSON is a JavaScript object notation. PHP is a programming language. This is a process, a way of exchanging data in JavaScript. And it now extends to every other programming language. PHP have a way too of sending JSON out. I think it's JSON encode. If not PHP, let me check. If I think it's how to return JSON in PHP. You see, say they gave time for different languages. So you see that it's different actually, PHP. So you need to do, if you don't really know them, you need to do many reading. Okay, so returning JSON in PHP, to return JSON data from a PHP script, you can use the JSON, like I said, JSON encode function to convert PHP data structures into JSON format. This is useful for APIs. Can you see, like I've been saying since, for backend, APIs and web services. So you see this array of data now in PHP, the guy can't convert them, can't say echo JSON encode. It will come out as JSON. I don't want, can they open my PHP server and all those things for system, I will show you. Once you echo this thing, I will come as a JSON encoded data. So you see, they even have header to tell you that we are expecting JSON. Do you understand now, Max Web and Graphic Services? Hope say you don't get them now. Hope say you don't get them. Okay, so let's not waste too much time. Let's move on. Okay, so I was saying that what if this one is, let me just say, my live. For example, I will change this method name to get live. I'm going to change this one's query name to, let me just say me. Something very short, and me, and return me. But this one I don't want to use echo. I go use my name. You see, it can be anything because I'm returning a JSON object. Just watch. Pay attention to what this Max Web and Graphics. You never answer me whether you understand what I explain. No. Okay, so watch now. I now have an additional one on echo. So just watch. Let's go back to my what they call it now, my Bruno. So let me duplicate this one. Let me clone it and I'll call it live, for example. And then all I need to do is change this. So I'll cut it from here. So I have echo because it's under the echo controller. Echo slash. What's the name of this one now? My live. My live. Can you see? So my live. Then because we are expecting a query me, it will not be, we'll not have that question mark and have me. Then we'll not give it a value equals to, let me say, Summy Amos. Can you see? And I said it should return it as my name. Now you will see just like the way this one is echo and the text. That one is going to be my name and then the name. Watch now. Let me call it. Can you see? My name and then the name. We are not learning programming language. I'm answering Alice now. We are not learning programming language. We are learning a framework, NestJS. Nest, N-E-S-T. N-E-S-T, JS for backend. And we are using TypeScript. That's why you will see this .ts. So you see, we just check this second endpoint, my live, and then the variable, and then we have it. Yes, Node.js Nest framework. Yes, all built on Node.js. Okay, so do we understand to this point? Emmanuel, where you understand? Sam, you understand? Cassie, you understand? Adeyemi, no forget what you they do again. If you are new here, indicate to me that for help you. They tell you where to go and start and what to do. So, do we understand up to this point? Very good, very good. So now let's do post. We don't do these things. Let's do post small. Is that okay? So if we want to do post, we can come here, as usual, at post. Sorry. Then it's like that. So I can give it a name of maybe the where I want them to send it to. Let's say post. Let's call it give. Give me. So let's come down and create our method. Let's call it, let me call it post echo. It can be anything, no? It can be James, it can be anything you want. Me, I just want to give it something that will make sense. That's why I use get here, so that you know if I'm using get something. I get. Okay, so I'm going to say $17K. $17K like, I like this thing now. Yes, NestJS sharp or careful. Okay, I share the live jare. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so the function name or the method name is going to be post echo. Now, pay attention to this place. See, my AI said already they suggest them. The way we take query here to collect things from people from front end. When it comes to post, we don't use that query because post is secure. Post is will not show what you are sending in that browser place where you now put question mark, message, and blah. No, it doesn't show it. That's why they say it's secure. You use at body. They see? Body like this. Finish. And then I can say return, just like the usual. Echo message, but we never know what we they use. But I will not say echo. I will just say received. Received. So here now, let me call it body. Watch. Body. You remember in TypeScript, I said you can give something any. That's it should expect any kind of data type, Abi. So here I'm going to say body. Can you see? So I will also need to import this post. Let me import this post so that it's there. I will also import this body so that it will still add join. So no error. I think this one is just formatting error. Format. Disable, don't worry, no concern you. Disable waiting. on save assignment of any. Don't worry, now I won't use na your own. So I won't use any. So let's go on. Let me open my Android. Is there any issue? No issue, no issue. Everybody is still here, everybody is still here, everybody is still here. So I know say most of una now, where they come from front end side. Or like those ones who never do React, but they come with from pure JavaScript side or HTML, CSS. When I say back end, no be play, abi, they no come play for this life. And this one is even easier because we are using a framework. If we were to be writing things by ourselves with Node.js, voila, we'll do now configuration for they do like for 3 days now before we even enter this thing. Okay. I think I've answered this question. Which programming language is this? I bet somebody answered Dulip. I don't know how to pronounce this thing. Somebody should answer him, please. Okay, so we have this now. Should I use it directly? I'm sure you people understand it already. Okay. So now that means in Bruno, we will now create new request. Let me call it, which I even call this method? Give me. Let me just say give. And then let me say, this one now will not be post, don't forget. And then I'm going to just call that same base URL slash echo, and then slash, what will be this? Give me. Slash give me. So, you see, we don't need to do that question mark and message, no, because no be so we'll take pass them. I will show you how we will pass it in a bit. I need you to pay attention to that. Hold on. So we will come to body here. So see param, so now go come body. Max Webs and Graphics Service. Say I missed your question. I don't understand what you are saying. I used almost 2 minutes to explain your question. Anyways, whatever. Okay, so you come to body. Now TypeScript will they use, which language will be TypeScript, but we are not learning the TypeScript, we are learning NestJS. I can't scroll. Which other question did you ask? You can ask it again. I can't scroll up. I don't understand. Just ask the question again. I don't understand. Okay, so let's go to body, and then inside that body, so you see, say you see nobody for here. Click and come to JSON, because we have to send the request as JSON. No be like that one now with the pass through get. So click JSON. Now let me show you how you will now format it. Let me show you now. I know say some people are going to do gig. No worry, no fear. Hold on. Now, since the body is expecting any, we can just do, we are writing our own, what do they call it now? Our own JSON, our own JSON. Since it's JSON, first of all, you open your curly bracket. Don't forget. I will say, let's say name, for example. Then I'll put the column, and then I'll pass my name, Sami Amos. So let's try to send this to this endpoint. You see that it is not here. We are sending it as JSON, which is the official way of how apps from front end or websites communicate with back end. You understand? So it's like you send JSON, it gives you JSON. That's why they say JSON is the means of communication. So let me do this. Now, guess what? I have received, and then I'm returning the body, Abi. So what did I send in the body? I sent name and blah, blah, blah. So you see the received, and then it returned the name and everything, because we are returning everything that you send in the body, we are returning it to you, and then we return it to you. So just try the anything you can put. In fact, you can put many name, you can put age. Sorry, this place is supposed to be comma. Okay, so you can put age like 16 or 15. I can put address. I can say Iyanokpaja. How do you spell Iyanokpaja again? N-A. Okay, Yana. Iyanokpaja. Yes. Then let's say we are adding like, let's add, what else should we add? Okay, or let's just stop it here, and then, so let's say receive name, age, address. You see, it returned everything. Okay, what is Max Web's graphic service saying? I asked because JSON can also store data in a MySQL database like PHP. Are you okay? Wait. Bless, I won't answer you. Bless, I need to really answer you. You they ask me because you know him, or you they ask me because you really want to know him. Because I know what it before I know what to tell you. You they ask me say because you know no. Yemi Eric never answer him. No. Never answer. You they ask me because you know him, or you they ask me because you really want to know him. Me go determine I go take answer you. Because this other one where you say I asked because JSON can also store data in a MySQL database like PHP. This thing where you write so doesn't make sense in any way. I asked because JSON can be used to store. JSON cannot be used to store data. JSON is a means of communication. So you can store JSON in MySQL. It's not JSON that is used to do the storage. You can store JSON inside the database, just like you are storing strings, you are storing number. You can store full JSON inside. So it is means of communication. Do you understand? It is means of communication. You were told that I was told that's so. I wanted to be sure. No, that's wrong. That's very, very wrong. JSON, that is very, very wrong. So you need to understand. JSON is not used to do anything. JSON is the means of communication. Do not forget. Do you understand now? Okay. So we've seen how we used post here. This 1 minute to 10:30. So I think I will stop here. Okay. So. Okay. My moderator say my letter reach 20K before I stop. Okay, we did 18K. Now you are the present. Okay, sharp. Thank you, Yasir Halahu. Thank you. It's a format that is organized so APIs or servers or backend generally and front end can process it. So backend sends response to front end using JSON, or front end sends request to backend using JSON. So that's why I said it's a means of communication. Why no go shout now, Shu? All right. So, any other question for you? I think we don't see how post work. We don't see how get work. We don't see how post work. Is there any question? It work like that for our system too? Sam, you work for your system like that? Emmanuel, Cassie, Ben, tell me, work for our system like that? Okay, sharp. Okay, sharp. So, no confusion, Abi, we understand. So I'm going to give another 3 minutes for general questions now. This would have been the time that Mark should have asked this question. Okay, so I'm going to give chance 3 minutes for like general question in tech, whether related to programming or related to programming, anywhere, any corner. You can ask your questions now. Hey. Hey. Okay, you can drop your questions. I mean, I not ask me question because I want to test my knowledge. Oh, I mean, I ask me question because I don't know one. Because I know say some busybody there. Yeah.
Because I told her, but she said she get questions. And when she go take write code blow.
Okay, so first question. Let me see. What is a framework? Okay. I'm going to start from a story, then explain what what framework is. Those days before frameworks come out, for example, if you are used to development with PHP or some other things, some other programming languages, we write codes bare. And then you end up seeing that you repeat yourself for so many things. For example, as you do for this project, you go still repeat the same thing for this next project. You go repeat the same thing for the next project. And then so the thing becomes cumbersome. So some people can come together to say, okay, let's create framework for this particular thing that we do over and over again. And then to write a framework that will force people to work in code correctly or in an opinionated way or in this specific way. So it's a group of rules and patterns, or in some cases architecture, put together to follow, to build certain procedures or architecture put together to build things. I don't know if you understand. So like in this our case now, we have Node.js, and then we have Nest that is built on Node.js. If you were to do all these things naturally with Nest, with Node, we would write plenty code. But Nest have structured so many things for us. We didn't have to start coupling Express by ourselves, coupling HTTP requests from scratch by ourselves. The framework has done that. All we need to do is now to follow the way that the framework said we should do it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like in this case now, NestJS is opinionated. That's it go tell you the way you got it one. No be like Express. Or should I say Express is a framework? Yes. No be like Express where we say open them up for you if you do them any way you like. So we can say English-wise, framework is a pre-built collection of tools, libraries, rules that help developers build software faster. Shikena, finish. So it give you structured way to write your code, so you don't have to build everything from scratch and repeat yourself over and over again. Does that make sense? The person that asks for framework. Let me see. Yes, for the person that asks for framework, okay. So, let me see which framework is this. We are using NestJS. I have a request. I just started working on a SaaS project, but I'm not sure it's good. Okay, I don't understand that. So what is the question there now? Okay, do you teach cloud engineering too? No, I don't. Vue.js form validation. I don't think I can talk about that one here. Because you know, say this class now for total beginner. So I'm going to need to first make other people feel understand, explain what it be Vue. Say now like React, then explain form and form validation, then explain the Vue way of doing it. So I don't think I want to dabble into that here. You can probably just read that one online sharply. Let me see. Question from Osato. I get question. When I want to write code to blow. Even me when they teach you never blow. Wahala. Go ask Bill Gates. In relation to the communication line, JSON. 21. I'm still reading somebody. In relation to communication line, JSON, I am trying to get data from a what? From a front end and send it to a DB. Okay, so which one are you using? What framework or what programming language are you using? Are you using PHP? If it's PHP, are you using Laravel, or you are writing vanilla Java PHP? You are collecting it from JSON and you want to store it in database. I can explain the process to you. So do you want me to explain the process to you? Okay, let me explain. So first of all, you need to write a PHP endpoint that will collect that JSON, just like we did here. Collect the thing in the request. You go collect the thing. So I will assume that you are using PHP. You go collect the data through JSON, and then you decode them. So we know say we get JSON encode to give you to export out JSON. Then we can't get decode, JSON decode to decode the JSON where they send give you, so you can validate it or do anything with it. After that one, then you can store the data for database, for MySQL database. Now to store that data for database, you go need to write query where go collect that. I want to put on now. You write query where go carry those things. MySQL query, SQL query per se. That's if you are not using ORM or any other third-party layer. You are writing pure SQL. You have to write insert query SQL to drop that data inside this thing, inside the database. So the process is you write an endpoint that collects that JSON. You process the JSON with your PHP, and then you send it to your SQL to be stored. Don't also forget that you will have to have connected your DB and blah, blah, blah. So that's just the process. If you want the code, I can give you like a quick, what they call this now? I can give you like a quick pseudo code that can probably do that for you and show it on the screen. I think I can open one of my teaching projects that, that does that or something. Do you want that? Do you want something like that? Okay, hold on, just hold on. Let me look for the project. Or let me just even tell my AI to write it out. Let me, let me open my AI by the side. Just watch. Write a PHP code to receive JSON, decode it, and store in MySQL. So just watch. You see, it don't write the connection strings, right? I'm sure you already know this one. It don't already write the connection string. You don't connect them. You say if connection no work, make it give you error, connection failed. And this one is collecting the JSON from a file. So you see, say JSON decode, like I told you, it decode the JSON, it check if error dey for the after if error dey for the decoding. If it can't work, you see what I talk. You now use SQL insert statement to insert the values inside, and that's basically it. In fact, let me now tell you to modify it to receive the JSON from a front end app. Oh, sorry, don't confuse. You don't still go carry, because of course my file will they open here. My file will they open here. Let me just modify. Let me copy this code. Modify this PHP code to accept JSON from a front end app. So you see that it's okay. The Mumu still carry file come. Anyways, like at this point where it's getting from this thing, it's going to be your own receiving from their request from like the body, and then you do the process. So I hope say you understand the process now. Max Web's graphic service, right? Do you understand? No, it's not only JSON. Before JSON came, they were using XML. Those days they were using XML, extensible markup language. But JSON is the most popular one. Do you understand? Now JSON popular pass. Wahala. Sometimes you can even use multi-part without using any form of this, using multi-part from your form data. You understand? You can also use query URL directly from the one we did first, using this query from your get. Or you can use raw text. Just send the text like that as strings. It will still work. Or sometimes you can use WebSocket, but that's advanced this thing. Do you understand? Okay. Okay, new students here. No, we've been helping new students since now. Yemi Eriko, you have dropped the new student info. We already have classes that we've done for front-end development. So we always direct you to the YouTube. We do them for years. We dey record for years, so we also go upload them for there. This one I go upload them for there. Now once we finish this one at day 6. So Yemi Eric, I be answer this front-end person. How do you write test for front-end? Wahala. This question not too big. Now wahala na just they give me so. Is it not too much for backend for just total beginners? Okay, anyways, you can use unit testing. You can use integration testing. And you can use E to E or end to end. Now your hand the day. So if now unit testing, means say you dey test individual functions and components gradually. If now integration testing, you dey test how components they work together. If now end to end, you dey test the entire app as a user would. That one now like software tester or quality assurance. You understand? So for unit testing now, if you use Jest na React library for testing, if you use that one. You understand? So I don't think I can say more than that because it will not be. I know if they show you go coding example. Thank you, Jayemi Eric. Test na another matter entirely. Yes, we go use WebSocket for that ShareAm app, definitely. So MZYX Noel, do you understand what I just said? Okay, so the class don't finish since about 15 minutes ago. I just answered question. So I think I'm going to end this class now. Thank you, my gifter. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate. Is it long or difficult to write E2E testing? Baba, no. You go browse that one, oh. You go browse that one, I beg. They know they write E2E testing. Now, you know, see what I talk? I say end-to-end testing, testing the entire app as a user would. Meaning, you don't install the app, you carry the app, come the test them. So, you don't follow the question which they even ask. Do you understand? They know they write E2E testing, that they test the app manually. Yes, thank you, Jare. Okay, Black Benga. Sorry. You would like to join the class? Yes, the class is every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a back-end class. You can join next week. I upload this class to YouTube. So they are always there on YouTube. You can go to our YouTube page. Go to YouTube and search for Niger Code Paddy. Look at it here. Niger Code Paddy. And then you will see our playlist of the classes we've done. This one now is the one we are doing, TikTok class backend development. It's not for absolute beginners. So if you are a beginner, no, don't even bother. But you can say pick TikTok class web development for absolute beginner. We even assume say we don't even know anything. You understand? Yes, I go post last class video this night or tomorrow. So anything. You understand? Yes, I go post last class video this night or tomorrow. So network just fuck up for there. See you guys. Bye.